They laughed at him like it was harmless, like it didn't leave scars, like words didn't stay awake at night long after the laughter ended. His name was James, and for most of his life, he existed as a punchline. In college, James was known as the quiet one, the one who sat in the back, wore the same faded clothes, and avoided eye contact. He didn't drink, didn't party, didn't talk much. Not because he was arrogant, but because he had learned that speaking only invited ridicule. He came from nothing. His father, Daniel, a rented auto rickshaw. His mother stitched clothes for neighbors late into the night. James studied under flickering lights, surrounded by the sound of sewing machines and unpaid bills.
While others talked about startups, foreign trips, and connections, James worried about groceries. That made him different, and different made him a target. "Bro, why do you even study so hard?" one classmate joked. "You think marks will save you from poverty?" Another laughed. "Relax, man, not everyone is meant to win." They said it casually, smiling, as if humiliation was friendly advice. James smiled back. He always did. Inside, though, something was being carved into him, slowly, painfully. He wasn't angry yet. He was learning. The laughter peaked during the final year project presentations. James stood on stage explaining his idea, a data-driven platform to help small businesses predict demand and reduce losses. He spoke carefully, thoughtfully. Before he could finish, someone laughed. Then another. A professor interrupted him. "This is too ambitious for you. Be realistic." The class erupted. One voice cut through the noise. "Some people are born to dream, others are born to survive." Everyone knew who that was meant for. James stood there, hands shaking, heart pounding. He nodded. "Thank you," he said quietly, and walked off the stage. That night, something inside him finally snapped. Not into rage, into resolve. He didn't want to argue anymore. He didn't want to explain. He didn't want to prove them wrong with words. He wanted results so undeniable that laughter would feel stupid in hindsight. After graduation, reality hit hard.
Jobs went to people with connections. Interviews ended when recruiters saw his background. Rejection emails stacked up like reminders of his place. His classmates moved on, posting photos from offices, cafes, foreign cities. James moved back into his childhood home and disappeared. No social media, no announcements, no noise. While the world laughed and lived, James worked. He woke before sunrise, studied until his eyes burned, took freelance work no one wanted, learned coding, analytics, finance, negotiation, anything that gave him an edge. He failed constantly. Projects collapsed, clients vanished, savings dried up. There were nights when his mother asked softly, "Should you try something safer?" James shook his head. "Just a little more time." She nodded. She always did. 3 years passed like this. Most people forgot him, and that was the advantage. James refined his old idea, the one they laughed at. He made it simpler, smarter, more practical. He focused on real problems small businesses faced, not impressive theories. He built quietly, tested endlessly, improved obsessively. Then one shop agreed to try it, then 2, then 10. The platform worked. Losses dropped, profits rose. Word spread, not loudly, but effectively. James didn't celebrate. He reinvested everything. While others showed success, James built it. By year 5, his platform was being used across multiple cities. He hired a small team, people like him, overlooked and underestimated. They worked without ego. That's what made them dangerous. The real moment of revenge came unexpectedly. James was invited to speak at a startup event. He almost declined. Then he saw the guest list, names he recognized, classmates, professors, the same people who once laughed. He accepted. The hall was full. Bright lights, confident faces, applause for every speaker. When James's name was announced, there was confusion. Some squinted, some whispered. Then recognition hit. That's him, the quiet guy. No way.
James walked onto the stage calmly. No nervousness, no shaking hands. He spoke, not about struggle, but about strategy, about discipline, about patience, about why most people fail because they need validation before results. The room listened because his numbers were real, because his company valuation was real, because success has a sound and it silences laughter. At the end, someone asked, "What motivated you to keep going when no one believed in you?" James paused. He looked across the room. Faces from his past stared back, some proud, some uncomfortable. "They laughed," he said evenly, "and I listened." Silence. Not awkward, heavy. After the event, people surrounded him. "Man, we always knew you had it. You should have told us what you were building. So inspiring." James smiled politely. He didn't correct them. Revenge didn't need explanations. Months later, a large corporation approached him with an acquisition offer. The amount was life-changing. He negotiated calmly, won decisively. The deal closed. Headlines followed. Once mocked student builds multi-million-dollar company. They laughed, he won. James became a millionaire. But the moment that mattered most wasn't the money. It was a reunion. The college organized an alumni meet. James arrived late, quietly. The same people who once dismissed him now rushed to greet him. Compliments replaced jokes. Respect replaced laughter. One former classmate, the loudest one, pulled him aside. "We were stupid back then," he said. "I hope you don't hold it against us." James looked at him for a moment, then smiled. "I don't," he said. And he meant it, because he had already won. That night, James stood on the terrace of his mother's new home, city lights glowing below. His mother joined him, handing him tea. "They don't laugh anymore," she said gently. James nodded. "No," he replied. "They listen now." The laughter that once haunted him had turned into fuel, and when he finally crossed the finish line, they weren't laughing anymore. They were watching.